Breaking, the British government is uneasy because of one man, not a foreign tyrant, not a tech mogul, but a prince. And what he's doing right now has the potential to reshape the entire way Britain is governed. Here's what the mainstream media won't say. Prince William isn't sitting back waiting for the crown. He's already in motion, and in Downing Street, senior politicians are watching him with real anxiety. This isn't rumor. This isn't tabloid noise. This is raw power, the kind that doesn't appear in headlines, but decides which laws survive and which ones quietly disappear. If you want to know what's truly unfolding inside British politics right now, stay with me. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, because this story is only beginning, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Let me show you exactly what William is doing that has the government on edge. Most people have no idea what something called prince's consent even is. It sounds dull. It isn't. It's one of the most potent mechanisms in British political life, and William controls it. Here's the process. Before specific bills ever reach Parliament, before MPs take sides, before the public hears a single word, those proposals land on William's desk first. If a bill touches anything involving his private estate, the Duchy of Cornwall, he gets an early look. He can question it, and according to several reports, he's already doing exactly that. This isn't ceremonial tradition. This is a prince reviewing legislation before elected lawmakers do. Government insiders say ministers now tense up when documents are sent back from Kensington Palace. Notes, queries, suggested revisions. What used to be a routine approval has quietly turned into a negotiation. Consider what this means. A bill about housing, land management, renewable energy. If it overlaps with William's domain, he reviews it before Parliament does. And if he has objections, the government must address them privately, behind closed doors, away from voters. The Prime Minister can't publicly push back. That would ignite a constitutional firestorm. But he also can't dismiss it. The law requires consultation. He's stuck. And William understands exactly how much leverage that gives him. But this is only the opening chapter, because William isn't just analyzing legislation. He's constructing something far larger. Over the last year and a half, he has quietly assembled a staff that looks nothing like the old royal households. He has brought in ex-diplomats, tech innovators, environmental specialists, people known for executing big projects, not waving from balconies. Royal experts now call it his shadow government. Not an official label, but an accurate description. William now oversees a personal operation that can move faster than the actual government. When the Prime Minister wants to announce a program, it gets trapped in committees, budgets, debates. It takes forever. When William wants to launch an initiative, he simply greenlights it. His team acts. The Earthshot Prize didn't require Parliament's permission. It only required William's approval and his global network. Overnight, world leaders, CEOs, and billionaires were traveling to meet him, not cabinet ministers, and this creates a very awkward dynamic. When a foreign president or a major company wants to collaborate with Britain, who do they turn to? The Prime Minister, who might be out of office in 2 years, or the future king, who will be around for decades. Increasingly, they're choosing William. Officials in the Foreign Office reportedly hate this. They need William because he opens doors, but they can't control what he says privately. He's developing his own foreign policy, building independent alliances, championing his own causes: climate, mental health, conservation. Whether or not those align with the government's priorities, he's becoming a parallel center of influence, and he's financing it all himself. And in politics, money equals autonomy. If the government pays your salary, they can control you. They cut your funding, you fall in line. But William isn't bound by that. The Duchy of Cornwall isn't a charming countryside estate. It's a £1 billion corporate empire, 130,000 acres across England, commercial hubs, coastline, residential projects, even the land beneath a prison. It generates more than £23 million a year in personal income. That's William's own money, not traditional taxpayer funds, not something Parliament can threaten. His own revenue stream, his own assets, his own war chest. And that independent financial base is exactly what makes ministers nervous. They can't pressure him. They can't cut him off. He doesn't need approval or public budgets to operate. While the government fights to balance spending and tells citizens to tighten belts, William sits atop a self-sustaining financial powerhouse that's expanding, and he's using it. He invests in the issues he cares about. He bankrolls initiatives that make government schemes look sluggish. He's crafting a system that doesn't hinge on election cycles, but money alone doesn't win modern influence. The real battleground is elsewhere. For 7 decades, the royals followed a single rule: never complain, never explain. Stay quiet, stay mythic. William has torn that rulebook apart. He recognizes something his elders don't. In 2024, silence isn't noble. It lets other people define you. So William is defining himself. Kensington Palace now operates like a digital studio. They create videos that look like cinematic trailers, emotional, polished, engineered to explode online. When William posts content, it spreads in hours, reaching millions without a single newsroom filter. Contrast that with the Prime Minister speaking at podiums, filtered through journalists, buried in print. When William shares a video on homelessness, it dominates social media. He doesn't need to attack the government. The visuals speak for themselves. A hands-on prince taking action. A politician debating future action. The government's media team can't compete. How do you outrun someone who understands modern attention better than you? Every time William showcases a cause, he inadvertently highlights government inefficiency. He's not criticizing them. He's simply existing beside them. And the comparison is devastating. This media supremacy is creating something Downing Street deeply fears: a public that trusts the prince more than the Prime Minister. But there's a deeper layer almost everyone misses. The real tension isn't only between William and the government, it's between William and King Charles. Charles waited 7 decades to become monarch, the longest preparation in royal history. He has his own vision, his own passions, his own rhythm. But something strange is unfolding. The public spotlight keeps shifting away from the king and toward his son. Charles works through traditional structures: private letters, formal meetings, steady incremental change. William operates like a tech founder: fast, impatient, action-driven. Insiders say there's a quiet Cold War between Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace. 2 centers of power, 2 strategies, 2 competing ideas of what modern royalty should be. This puts the government in a dilemma. On paper, Charles is head of state. In reality, William commands more attention, more global reach, and more trust. Who do ministers align themselves with? The monarch of today or the monarch of the next half-century? This internal split is risky for the monarchy itself. A divided institution is a vulnerable one. And there are groups watching closely, groups that have been waiting for the monarchy to fracture. For decades, British Republicans, the abolitionists, were easy to dismiss, fringe, irrelevant. But Queen Elizabeth's death removed a shield. She was nearly universally respected. Criticizing her felt improper. But that barrier is gone, and the modern Republican movement has evolved. They no longer attack personalities. William is too